A legacy unveiled. Trump's executive order and the release of classified documents. On January 23, 2025, former President Donald Trump signed an executive order that sent shockwaves through the corridors of power in Washington, D.C. This bold move was seen as a significant step towards transparency and accountability in government. This act, long awaited by researchers and historians, mandated the immediate release of thousands of previously classified documents related to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. For decades, these documents had been the subject of intense speculation and numerous conspiracy theories. These documents, shrouded in secrecy for over half a century, promised to finally shed light on one of the most controversial events in American history. The public's curiosity and demand for truth had never waned over the years. The timing of the release, coming just days before the anniversary of Kennedy's assassination, was no coincidence. It was a calculated decision to maximize public interest and media coverage. It was a stark reminder of the enduring mystery surrounding the event, and the government's long-standing reluctance to fully disclose what it knew. The release reignited debates and discussions across the nation. The release, while incomplete, represented a victory for transparency advocates, who had long argued that the American people deserved to know the full truth about their president's assassination. It was a step towards restoring public trust in government institutions. Among the documents were explosive revelations that challenged the official narrative of a lone gunman acting independently. These new pieces of information suggested a more complex scenario. They pointed to a much darker and more sinister plot, one that implicated elements within the U.S. government itself. The implications of these findings were profound and unsettling. The documents hinted at a conspiracy of powerful individuals who had motive and opportunity to silence the young president, fearing his progressive policies and his threat to their vested interests. This revelation added a new layer of intrigue to the historical narrative. The release of these documents marked a turning point in the quest for truth about the JFK assassination. It opened up new avenues for research and investigation. They provided crucial pieces of the puzzle, offering a glimpse into a hidden world of espionage, power struggles, and betrayal at the highest levels of government. The complexity of the situation became more apparent. The documents, though heavily redacted in parts, painted a disturbing picture of a government willing to go to extreme lengths to protect its secrets and silence those who dared to challenge its authority. The quest for complete transparency continues. A shocking truth: JFK's assassination, a premeditated coup. The declassified documents, long concealed from public view, revealed a chilling truth. JFK's assassination was not the act of a lone gunman but a meticulously planned coup d'etat, orchestrated by elements within the U.S. intelligence community, globalist banking institutions, and shadowy elite organizations. These revelations have fundamentally altered our understanding of that fateful day in Dallas. These entities, driven by fear and greed, saw Kennedy as a threat to their power and influence. They believed that his policies would undermine their control and diminish their wealth. Kennedy's vision for America, one that challenged the status quo and threatened the established order, had made him a target. His bold initiatives and progressive ideas were seen as a direct challenge to the entrenched interests. His efforts to curtail the power of the military-industrial complex, his opposition to the Vietnam War, and his attempts to dismantle the Federal Reserve struck at the heart of the deep state, prompting a desperate and ruthless response. These actions were perceived as existential threats by those who benefited from the status quo. The documents exposed a web of connections between intelligence agencies, organized crime figures, and anti-Castro Cuban exiles, all working in concert to eliminate Kennedy. This unholy alliance was driven by a shared interest in maintaining their power and influence. They revealed the existence of a covert CIA program codenamed Operation Execute, which authorized the assassination of foreign leaders deemed detrimental to U.S. interests. This program, shrouded in secrecy, was a tool for maintaining American dominance on the global stage. The assassination of JFK, it appeared, was a chilling example of this program being turned inward against an American president who had become a liability to the deep state. This internal threat was met with the same ruthless efficiency as any foreign adversary. The revelation sent shockwaves through the nation, forcing a reassessment of history and a reckoning with the dark underbelly of American power. The public's trust in their government was profoundly shaken. The documents exposed the fragility of democracy and the vulnerability of even the most powerful individuals to the machinations of those operating in the shadows. It was a stark reminder of the hidden forces that can shape the course of history. The assassination of JFK, long a subject of speculation and conspiracy theories, was now undeniably confirmed as a coup d'état, a stark reminder of the hidden forces that shape our world. This revelation has forever changed the narrative of American history. The People's Champion, JFK's battle against the Federal Reserve. Central to the conspiracy surrounding JFK's assassination was his stance against the Federal Reserve, a private banking cartel that he believed held undue power over the American economy. Kennedy understood the manipulative nature of the Federal Reserve System, which had trapped the nation in a cycle of debt and inflation. In 1963, Kennedy took a bold step towards reclaiming control of the nation's monetary system by signing Executive Order 11110. This order authorized the Treasury to issue silver certificates, a move that threatened to undermine the Federal Reserve's monopoly on currency creation. By issuing currency backed by silver, Kennedy aimed to curb the Fed's ability to inflate the money supply and erode the purchasing power of the dollar. This audacious move sent shockwaves through the halls of the Federal Reserve and its allies in Wall Street. They recognized the existential threat posed by Kennedy's actions, which had the potential to dismantle their financial empire and return control of the nation's money to the people. A newly declassified Federal Reserve memo, codenamed Directive Alpha, warned of the economic destabilization risks posed by Kennedy's monetary policies. This memo, circulated among top Wall Street bankers and CIA operatives, painted a target on Kennedy's back. Kennedy's assassination, just months after the signing of Executive Order 11110, fueled speculation that his efforts to dismantle the Federal Reserve played a key role in his demise. His death served as a stark warning to any future leader who dared to challenge the power of the financial elite. The Federal Reserve, it seemed, was an untouchable institution, willing to protect its interests at any cost. Section 4. Architects of Deception, Key Figures and Their Roles in the Assassination. The declassified documents named several key figures involved in the JFK assassination plot, individuals whose actions and connections pointed to a high-level conspiracy. These documents, once hidden from the public eye, have shed light on the intricate web of deceit and manipulation that surrounded the tragic event. Among them were seasoned intelligence operatives, shadowy figures with ties to organized crime, and even individuals who would later occupy high-ranking positions in government. These figures operated in the shadows, their true motives and actions obscured by layers of secrecy. William King Harvey, a legendary CIA operative known for his ruthlessness and his disdain for Kennedy, emerged as a central figure in the plot. His reputation for being a hardliner and his deep-seated animosity towards Kennedy made him a prime candidate for orchestrating such a conspiracy. Harvey, who headed the CIA's Rome station during the early 1960s, was a staunch anti-communist who viewed Kennedy's attempts at détente with the Soviet Union as weakness. His fervent anti-communist stance drove many of his actions, and he saw Kennedy's policies as a direct threat to American security. He saw Kennedy as a threat to national security, and was reportedly deeply involved in covert operations aimed at destabilizing his presidency. These operations were part of a broader strategy to counteract what he perceived as Kennedy's dangerous policies. E. Howard Hunt, another CIA operative with a long and murky history, was also implicated in the assassination. Hunt's career was marked by numerous covert activities, and his involvement in the JFK plot added another dark chapter to his legacy. Hunt, who would later gain notoriety for his role in the Watergate scandal, was reportedly part of a CIA-backed group operating in Dallas in the days leading up to the assassination. His presence in Dallas, combined with his extensive background in covert operations, made his involvement highly suspicious. His presence there, coupled with his connections to other known conspirators, raised serious questions about his involvement in the plot. The network of individuals he was associated with painted a picture of a well-coordinated effort to eliminate Kennedy. David Atlee Phillips, a high-ranking CIA officer who oversaw anti-Castro Cuban operations, was another key figure linked to the assassination. Phillips's role in anti-Castro activities placed him at the center of many controversial operations during that era. Phillips, who had a close relationship with Lee Harvey Oswald, was suspected of manipulating Oswald and using him as a patsy in the plot. This relationship between Phillips and Oswald has been the subject of much speculation and investigation. His connections to Oswald, along with his history of covert operations, made him a prime suspect in the eyes of many researchers. The intricate ties between these figures and their covert activities suggest a deeper, more sinister plot. The involvement of these individuals, all high-ranking members of the intelligence community, pointed to a conspiracy that reached the highest levels of government. Their positions of power and influence allowed them to orchestrate and cover up their actions effectively. Their actions, shrouded in secrecy and deceit, revealed the dark underbelly of American power and the lengths to which some would go to protect their interests. This chapter in history serves as a stark reminder of the potential for corruption and conspiracy at the highest levels of government. Section 5. The Oswald Counterfeit Directive, a web of lies and decoys. One of the most startling revelations to emerge from the declassified documents was the existence of the Oswald Counterfeit Directive. This directive, issued by an unknown source within the CIA, outlined a plan to create a network of Oswald doubles, individuals who resembled Lee Harvey Oswald, and could be used to create a false trail of evidence leading to him as the lone gunman. The directive detailed a sophisticated plan to discredit Oswald and portray him as a lone, deranged assassin. It called for the creation of false identities, the planting of fabricated evidence, and the manipulation of witnesses to solidify Oswald's guilt in the public eye. The directive was a testament to the meticulous planning and the vast resources dedicated to framing Oswald and covering up the true nature of the conspiracy. The existence of the Oswald Counterfeit Directive exposed the lengths to which the conspirators were willing to go to protect themselves and their agenda. It revealed a calculated effort to manipulate the narrative surrounding the assassination, to deceive the American people, and to ensure that the truth remained hidden. The directive was a chilling reminder of the power of disinformation and the vulnerability of truth in the face of a well-orchestrated cover-up.